Usually I start doing the lives in on TikTok first and then come here, but I thought I'd switch it up here today. So today what I want to talk to you about is, when you start doing something, let's say you tell yourself, I'm going to exercise every day, I'm going to meditate every day, I'm going to do these affirmations every day, I'm going to wake up, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning every day. And then maybe you do it for the certain period of time, or maybe the next day straight away you don't do it and you fail, not necessarily fail. And then because you didn't do it every single day like you said you were gonna, you start going, I can't believe I did it, I screwed it up, I missed a day, whatever. And then because of that chitter chatter, because you didn't do what you said you were gonna do, instead of just doing that the next day, you end up not doing it at all for maybe a month or for a year or ever again. So it's not the fact that you missed a day. Don't beat yourself up. This live is going to be that even if you fall, even if you don't do it every day like you said you were going to do, if you skip a day, if you skip a week, it really is not relevant. The next time you feel like this is the time where I can do it now, I have 5 minutes maybe for this, just do it then. I was in this situation when I would tell myself when I started years ago, I'm going to meditate every day. And then there would be a day that I would skip and I would beat myself up for not doing the meditation. I would beat myself up for not, doing like I said I was gonna do. I could not believe, why am I doing this? This is good for me. Why did I give up on myself? And I know some of you have this sort of chitter chatter in your brain as well, and this conversation with yourself. And instead of just saying, I skipped a day, did the world end? No. So I'll just do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. I didn't do it yesterday. I skipped it today. Is that really relevant? Ask yourself this. Is this really now gonna, end the world? Is this really gonna we have this sort of the worst talk with ourselves possible, and it's not really worth it. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Now I obviously know why, etc. and whatnot. But because we're programmed, first of all, we are programmed like this. Second of all, the brain is there to see the worst case scenario. The brain is there to tell us the worst things possible. Because if we were in the wild, the brain is designed to have everything, the worst case scenario, so that we can be protected. However, in these situations, just because we missed a day of doing something does not make us a bad person. It is not something that we should feel guilty about. And just because we skipped doing something, it's not really like the worst thing ever. So next time you fall, next time you fail, next time you say, oh, I screwed it up, oh, I missed it, don't beat yourself up. Just say, okay, I missed it. Big deal. I'll do it tomorrow. I had other things to do. I forgot. It's when we don't have the habit, it's going to be a lot of those days when we're going to skip it. Maybe you're going to skip it for a week, but even after a week, it's better to do it after a week than after a month, because you feel so guilty and so tortured inside for, honestly, let me tell you, no reason. You're just making stuff up in your head, and the world hasn't ended and nothing because you did that. So just the next time you find a free slot, just do it. When I started exercising, I wanted to do 3 times a week. I had certain, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I had certain everything in my head. And then when I would miss that, I would be, oh, I didn't do it. Oh, this is sad. Oh, what am I going to do now? Whereas now, I just exercise when I can. I exercise when I tell myself, okay, we'll do it now. It's not sometimes even when I feel like it, but sometimes I don't feel like it, but I'm like, okay, we haven't done this in a week now. Let's just do something. Let's just exercise so we can get it out of the way. I know I have to do it. Let's just get it out of the way. Sometimes you're just not up for it. But instead of going, oh, I really should do this. Oh, why am I not doing this? Oh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I didn't follow my schedule like this, like I said last time. Relax. Is this good for me? Is it not? Now maybe I'm watching TV. I have this little bit of time. Can I exercise now? I can. Did I remember to do it now? I did. Okay, let's just do it. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. But the thing is, last time I really, really did not feel like exercising. Like, I promise you, the warm up was so hard for me. And warm ups are not hard for me. And I was just doing the warm up and I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I'm so not into this. But then after warm up, I did the exercises. The longer I started doing it, the more energy I had, which made no sense to me. Because usually when I do weightlifting, the time I make it to the third round, I'm like, now the first round was the hardest. The second one was a bit easier. And on the third one, I actually put more weights on my dumbbell and I'm like, I'll just go for it. And on that third round, with more weights, I had more strength in me, more motivation, more. I can't even explain it because I don't think that has ever happened before. And I'm thinking, shouldn't I be more tired now than I was? It was so hard to do the warm up. Yet the third set of weight lifts, the heaviest one, was the easiest one for me. And I love the fact that I was making myself do it, although I didn't want to do it. The reason why I did it is because I remembered. Because a lot of the times when we try to install a new habit, we just don't remember. We say we're gonna, I don't know, meditate every single day. Then the whole day passes by and we're like, oh, I forgot. At least that's what happened to me. For so many things that I wanted to implement in my life, I would simply forget. Because it's not a habit yet. When you don't have a habit of doing certain things, you're just gonna forget about it. You're just gonna be doing other stuff. You're not gonna be maybe feeling like it. You're gonna remember for 10 seconds, maybe even in a day, but then you'll forget it later when you actually have the time. And don't beat yourself up on it. It's perfectly natural. It's perfectly okay. So you skipped a day, so you skipped a week, just continue doing it again. And then again, if you do it one day and then you skip it again for a week, it really does not matter. This is why when they say persistency is key, there are very small handful of people when they say, now I'm going to be doing this every day for the rest of my life, that they actually do it. But that's really such a small handful of people. For some of the majority of us, that we need that persistency. That's how you build the persistency. You start doing it, but then you forget to do it. But then the next day you start doing it again, then you forget to do it. Then a week afterwards you start doing it. But the more you go back on, the more you start from scratch, the more often you're gonna get it in the future. And then it really is gonna become your habit. But people beat themselves up. This is why a lot of people start exercising in January, New Year's resolution and all, and then dry January, everything January, and then it just goes back. Because people say, now I'm gonna exercise, now I'm gonna stop drinking, now I'm gonna do this. And then they fall back on their old habits, which again is natural. Just accept that it's natural. And then that's how you do it. That's the persistency. You go back to your old habits, and you're like, no, I'm still going to try and create the new habit. Then you go back to your old habits. Then you're just going to be doing this for a while. It depends on how long breaks you're going to take. It depends on the longer you beat yourself up, the later you're going to go back on doing what you want to do. There are some people that only exercise in that January, and then for the rest of the year they don't, and then they make the New Year's resolution again, and they're like, okay, this is my year. Now I'm definitely going to go throughout the year for the rest of my life. And then they go back to their old habits, and then, the next week, the next month, from the first of the month, just erase all that. Just, that doesn't exist. Just think there's just new habits. If it's really hard for you to stick to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, just don't do it. There will be a time in a day where you will have that extra time that you'll remember that you have to do something. I tried with putting reminders everywhere. I tried with setting the alarms on my phone. I tried it, all of that, that they actually suggest. It did not work for me, because then at that time that I think that I can, it turns out that I can't, etc., etc. So you'll in time see the key to persistency, the number one key, is not beating yourself up. Just tell yourself, so I skipped today, I'll just do it tomorrow. Easy peasy. I'll do it later. I'll do it maybe later this week. The main point is to keep going. That's how you keep going, not by doing it every single day. No one expects you to do it every single day. It's really nice when we hear, oh, they did it, they didn't skip a day. Now, whether that is true or not, again, probably it is true for some people, but I'm not saying it is true for all the people. We don't know. Even I can say I meditate every single day, I've never skipped a day in my life. That would not be true. There are people who say that they don't mean it, but the people that do mean it, honestly, not a lot of them. So don't try to put yourself in that pile if you're not one of those people. You're not supposed to be like someone else. You're supposed to be like you. You're supposed to discover things about you. If you had the same moment of your life as that person, you would be like that person, but you didn't for a reason. Don't compare yourself to someone else. Someone, they say compare yourself to who you were yesterday. But not even that resonates with me. What I do, not compare in terms of like, oh, I'm better than I was yesterday, but I just said, oh my God, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, a month ago, look how much I've progressed. I'm happier, I'm more fulfilled. I'm thankful that I was able to do that. But I don't compare myself to like, let me analyze. What was this person a month ago, a year ago, doing worse, better? I just don't do those things. I like myself now. I like who I was 10 years ago. I like who I was a month ago. There's nothing to do in comparison in terms of now I'm better than I was a month ago in that sense, like egotistic sense. I like all of it because all of that has led me to where I am now. If there wasn't me a year ago, it wouldn't, and what happened and the things that I did, there wouldn't be me today. So yes, I do get better and better, but I don't do that sort of comparisons, not to others, not even to myself. I just express gratitude that I'm able to be happy, that I'm able to progress, that I'm able to expand, that I'm able to raise even higher vibration, that I'm able to participate in this global contribution to the vibration of the world, which we all are doing. But even today, I was so excited that I did something, and I was like, yes! And I was so happy. I'm like, yes, the vibration of the world is higher now. Yes, I did that. I was so happy because we're all in this together. So encourage yourself. Be your best cheerleader. Just root for yourself. The best thing you can do for yourself is just do things that make you feel good. Do things that make you feel happy. Do things that you're proud of. If that is meditating, if that is exercising, if you can't feel like exercising, if you can't feel like any of these things, just sit for yourself and say, okay, I remember it now. So that's, we got over those things. Is it easier for me to, not easier, how would I feel? That's the better question. How would I feel if 5 minutes would pass by and I was just sitting on this couch? And how would I feel if for those 5 minutes I actually did some exercises? Now keep in mind, there are also exercises that you can do in bed. There are exercises that my grandma, that is not very mobile, that has maybe left her apartment with assistance for the last 5-7 years, probably she hasn't left her apartment. Like I said, only a handful of times. Even she is doing some sort of exercises. And, when you reach a certain age, if you're not doing something for a long time, you just don't become flexible and you're sort of in this position. Even she's doing something. So there are exercises for everyone. So in those 5 minutes, you have 5-minute workouts on YouTube, amazing ones, depending on what you want. After those 5 minutes, do I want to feel proud of myself? Do I want to feel good? Oh my God, I did those 5 minutes. Or am I just gonna sit here for the next 5 minutes? 5 minutes are gonna pass anyway. And I'm just gonna be sitting here, maybe feeling guilty, maybe feeling like, same old, same old. Or can I just do these 5 minutes to make myself feel better? And every time I do the exercise, not that I feel like, wow, energetic. Not always. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I just don't. But in my head, I'm like, at least I got it over with. Like, I definitely do feel better that I did it than if I had not done it. And you can motivate yourself in any way that suits you. There were a lot of the people that would say, prove them wrong, work on yourself so they can see you succeed, work on yourselves to make them jealous, work on yourself. I could not resonate that for the love of me. And there are a lot of people that say, oh, I like that they don't like me, or I like that they doubt me, because that means I can prove them wrong. And I'm thinking, I honestly do not resonate with that. I don't care what other people think. And when you don't care what other people think, like genuinely don't care what other people think, I care what my daughter thinks. Maybe what my mom thinks, but that's pretty much it. So I don't really think about what others will feel, what others will think about my decisions, my successes or my falls. And for a while, I was thinking, what can I motivate myself with? What is actually my motivation? Why do I want to do this? Then when you ask those types of questions, you can find, for me, the easiest one was my daughter. What do I want her to be when she grows up? What do I want to be as an example? So if she's copying me, that she's going to copying the right thing. If I sat on a scale and if I would go, oh my God, I hate the number, the next thing my daughter would do was do exactly the same. She would not even know what it means, but she would still make sure she makes this same expression, feels that way about the scale. So when I go on a scale, even if I don't like the number, I go, yes, I did it. Yes, I like it. Yes. And then she would go on a scale. I'm like, yes, because it doesn't matter what the number is. I just want her to feel good about it. I exercise 99.9% of the time when my daughter is with me, because I don't want her to not see it. She does have her, extracurricular activities. She does have her out of school stuff that she does. But I still want her that maybe one day when she gets older and she stops doing this, to see that even mom is working out, to see that even when she stops doing that, if she wants to, that there are other things that you can exercise, that you can. We both do stuff together. Even when I'm weightlifting, I make sure she's doing it just because she wants to. I don't actually force her to do it. But mom is doing it. She wants to do it. Mom is eating healthy. She wants to eat healthy. And for me, I'm just saying this because maybe some of you have kids and you can take your kids as a motivation to work on yourself. You can take your kids as a motivation to learn to love yourself, to heal, to improve yourself. Your kids will see you working on yourself. That's what they're going to learn, and that's what they're going to do when they get older, or even just now, depending on how old they are. Yeah, we should start slowly until it becomes a habit. Yes, but not beating yourself up if you stop doing it. That's the main key. Just don't beat yourself up if you skip a day. Don't beat yourself up if you skip a week. Don't just go in your head, oh, I did not do it when I said I was going to do it. Just do it the next day. Just take it easy. Just take it slowly. Just take your time. Encourage yourself. Change the thoughts in your head. Instead of doing, I feel guilty, I feel ashamed, which is not necessarily what you're going to say, but it is how you're going to be feeling like, to go, okay, the world hasn't ended. I see that. What can I do now? Now I can do it instead of yesterday. And just keep going. That's the key. Just keep going. Then you don't do it again. Then you do it again. I know someone said sometimes this is like a tennis match, like you're passing the ball from one to another. I don't know if any of you are resonating with that, but that's the key. And keep in mind that the most successful people have failed the most. And you are going to have proper maybe fails in your life that doesn't have to do with implementing your new habit, like you said, let's say exercising or whatever. But always keep that sentence in mind. So if you see like you skipped a day of doing meditation, exercising, affirmations, whatever that may be, as a fail, just tell yourself, the ones that have succeeded the most have failed the most. The only difference is quitters never win, winners never quit. That's the only difference. People don't do something they said they were going to do on the day they said they were going to do, and now they quit forever. They say, I can't do this. I can't do this every day. I can't. No one is expecting you to do it. There are people that have been building their habits for decades. And now after decades, years, doesn't matter how many, but a long time, then they tell you, yes, I meditate every day. Yes, I exercise every day or 5 days a week or whatever. But now they have that as a habit. And it's easy when you have it as a habit to say it. Like I can say I brush my teeth every morning, I brush my teeth every day, but maybe if someone doesn't have that as a habit, it's gonna maybe be not as easy. Not because that is hard, just because it is not a habit yet. And we tend to forget things that are not in our routine, that are not habitual. So don't, drown yourself in those negative thoughts when it happens. Tell yourself something that inspires you, and that can be one of the things. The most successful people have failed the most. Okay, I'll see this as my mini tiny fail, but I'm just adding on to the things because I know that the most successful people have failed the most. Just keep telling yourself that until it goes into your head. And then you said, okay, the difference between quitters and winners is quitters never win, winners never quit. I'm just not going to quit. So even if I don't do it exactly on schedule like I wanted to, what is the main thing in succeeding in my goal, whatever that may be for you, because it's going to be different for everyone, is not quitting, is keep going. Even if you need a day to rest, even if you need a week to rest, if you need to reset, maybe you'll take some time off to figure yourself out. Maybe you'll take some time off to work on loving yourself, on healing yourself. You are allowed to take a break. You are allowed to rest. If you feel yourself, like I always say in the meditation, you start with 2 to 5 minutes a day, nothing extravagant now. But if you feel like you're so forcing yourself, if that day was really hard, and this is obviously not a new habit, because if it would feel good. But now if you just feel pressuring yourself, oh, I have to do this, I hate this, I just want to sleep, just go to sleep. Do it the next day. Take care of yourself. People are pushing themselves these days so much, and then when they don't do something, it's like they killed a person. Just chill, relax. And if you know what, if you get frustrated at something, at least get that energy out through exercising. Use it for something good for yourself. I always say if you now feel frustrated for not doing something, then you, depending on what that is, maybe it was meditation, use that energy and then do the exercising. Just do something if you feel like tense, oh, I can't believe I didn't do this, and you feel like angry now. At least be useful. Put that energy into something useful. I'm not saying that you are not useful, just that energy. So you can always make yourself laugh. You can always encourage yourself. So train yourself to do that. Train yourself to say all of these sentences to motivate yourself. And it doesn't have to be anything in particularly. I know when I love Tony Robbins. I don't know if anyone's listening to him, and but he's one of many people that the way he motivates, you get motivated for maybe an hour and then you're not motivated at all. And that's who I used to be 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You're so fired up. Yes, I'm gonna do this now. Yes, I'm gonna do it every day. And then you just go back to your old habits and then you're like, what happened? And I realized in time that that doesn't work for me. That people that, were shouting from excitement were loud like that, which is nothing wrong. Everyone is different. And as much as I like to learn from them, and I do, I am not fired up and motivated the same way they are, or maybe even with the majority. I don't know how everyone else is motivating themselves, but that isn't really working for me. So I know to learn, but that I know how to motivate myself, something that will actually work for me. So if I have my daughter that I think about, I don't go, yes, I'm fired up, yes, we'll do it. Like, I'm not that. And as much as I maybe want to sometimes, I'm just not that. If I were to do that, I think my energy would just go downhill very, very fast. I'm sort of like a person that has this like energy and is slowly spreading it out through the day. And I'm more active in the evening. And as much as I want to maybe, and usually I do go to sleep, I'm the most productive in the evening. So, okay, what can I do now to make the most out of it? I like to meditate before going to bed, although this morning I did the meditation when I woke up, but I like not telling myself when I'm going to be doing this. I'm not the one who's going to make a schedule. I'm not the person who's going to make a to-do list. None of that works for me. Trust me, I've tried. None of that works for me. We all have busy lives. We all have something that we weren't expecting was going to happen, or maybe a friend invited us now for a drink and we said yes, so now we don't have the free time. We didn't schedule it properly because we didn't know that was going to happen. So many things can happen, and I'm not going to say no from having a lovely connection, from having a drink, just because, I told myself I'm going to exercise now. No, I'm just going to go. If I can't make it today, I'll just do it tomorrow. So I'm really hoping this. I'm going to stop here just because yesterday I made a live. It was a little over an hour, maybe hour and some few seconds. And it took YouTube over 12 hours to upload it. I don't know why. I kept telling people yesterday, like, if you weren't here from the beginning, just wait half an hour, come back later, and when YouTube processes it, you can watch it. And I'm like, what's going on? And I woke up this morning, 7 o'clock. I opened, after the meditation, the YouTube studio, and it's like, your video was loaded four hours ago. And I'm thinking, it took you over 12 hours to upload an hour-long video, which if I now were to upload an hour-long video, it would take faster. But because it was a live, whatever they were processing, why did it take 12 hours? I have not got a clue. But if you missed that yesterday's live, you have it now, finally. Because I answered one of your questions and I kept saying, you can watch it later in an hour, and 12 hours later, here you go. So if you missed yesterday's lives, I have all of my lives from before. I was just shocked that this one took so long. So what happened? There must be a good reason for it. I don't know. That's what I'll be thinking. There was a good reason for it, and that's it. So if you want to, go watch that live from yesterday, and I'll stop this one here so it doesn't take 12 hours to process it again. And I'll be seeing you next time. Love you guys. Bye.